Can I buy a house virtually? I'm talking about that starting right now. Hey everyone, I'm Caitlin McKegg. I'm a realtor here in Phoenix, Arizona. I am not recording from my patio today because it's triple digits. So I am in my office in a climate controlled area and enjoying the air conditioning. Today I'm talking about, can I buy a house virtually? I'm going to tell you that answer, but before I start, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do so. If you have been watching my videos and you have any questions, please reach out to me. I've had many of you giving me calls asking for advice or information, and I'm happy to help any way I can. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, you can check out my channels there and stay up to date with all of my information. So jumping right in, can I buy a house virtually? The answer is yes. And I know the answer is yes because I have helped clients do this before. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds weird, but if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I can tell you that I've helped many folks do it before and it works out just fine. Technology is a beautiful thing. It helps us do many things that we thought weren't even possible 10 years ago. So why don't we take advantage of that in the house hunting process? Let me break it down for you. So when you're searching for homes, where do you normally search? Online, right? No one drives down the street looking for a for sale sign or walks into a real estate office looking for paper listings any longer. That's just not the world we live in. So if you're already looking for homes online, why not do so from afar and decide which homes you like that way? The listings online usually have hundreds of pictures, even if the house is only like 2,000 square feet. Most of the listing pictures are pretty detailed, really good, and showing every area of the house. So you can get a great feel for the floor plan, the color scheme, and the finishes in the house just based off of those listing photos. Many times there's also a virtual tour attached to these listings. So you can see a video tour of someone either walking the house or a drone flying through the house to show you how the floor plan is laid out and show you room to room. Now, if this listing is looking like a good potential, the next step is go to Google. Google holds the answers to many things nowadays, but it also has a couple features that are really helpful. You can look at a satellite view of the address of the home and be able to see what the neighborhood looks like, what the neighbors' homes look like, what the roof looks like, the backyard, and you can see where that home sits in relation to major crossroads and areas within the neighborhood. You can also check out if it backs up to a busy street, if it backs up to a park, an alley, a school. All of that will be more visible in a satellite view than it would be just on a map. Google also offers Google Street View. And when you look this way, you can kind of virtually drive through the neighborhood to see the other homes. All of this could be dated depending on when Google went through the neighborhood and took their photos, but it still gives you a good idea of what the other homes look like in the area, what the streets look like, if lots of cars are parked on the street, or if it looks a little bit cleaner, if everyone maintains their yard, etc. You can get a better feel for it by using Google Street View. So those are the two things I recommend with Google. Use the satellite view and the street view for the address that you're looking at. If you're moving from out of state, one of your number one questions is going to be, is this a good area? And that's a great question. I would recommend checking a crime map. Trulia has an excellent one that shows areas of the city you're looking in and the neighborhoods where there's more prominent crime and areas where there's less crime. It also breaks down what those criminal records are in those areas. So that helps you determine whether or not you think it could be a good area or not so great. You can also lean on your realtor. That's why you have one, right? I'm not here to steer you in any direction, but I can help you understand based off of your likes, dislikes, and lifestyle if you may like a certain area over another. So ask me any questions about that and I'm happy to help point you in the right direction. Now, if all of these things align, let's go see the house. Let me know you want to see this house and I can go do a virtual FaceTime tour or Zoom tour for you within the house. It will be just like a regular showing, except you can't touch anything. I can show you what the front of the house looks like, the neighborhood. I'll walk the entire house for you on FaceTime, go any direction you'd like me to, check out every closet, the appliances, of course the backyard, and make sure that you feel comfortable that you've seen the home. When I leave, I can also drive around the neighborhood on FaceTime to show you what the neighborhood looks like and the street the house sits on. Whatever you want to see, I can be your boots on the ground. I'm also committed to telling you anything that you might not be able to notice over video, like a smell. If the house smells in a bad way or even a good way, I'm going to make sure that I mention that to you to disclose everything so that you know what you might be getting into. If everything aligns and this house fits the bill for you, we can go ahead and write an offer. Everything is digital these days, so I'll draw up a contract electronically and I can DocuSign it to you so you can sign virtually without having to meet me in person. If you're in another state, it makes it really easy and quick. So all of that can be done remotely. With the market the way it is right now, usually you don't have time to come out and see the house before we write an offer. For instance, if you're living in another area of the state or maybe a bordering state to Arizona and can make a fairly easy drive, it might be gone by the time you can get here, even if that's only an extra 24 hours. So what I always recommend is if everything falls into place on the steps that we've done to this point, let's write an offer and see if we can get under contract. Once you're under contract, we have 10 days of an inspection period that you can use to come out and see the house at that point and make sure that it still fits in with everything you're looking for. If not, we can cancel the contract during those 10 days and get your earnest money back. If there's no way you can get out to see the house once we're under contract, that's okay. I've helped clients in that direction as well. We'll continue with an inspection and the inspector will come in and do his thorough inspection of the house. We will be able to FaceTime the review with you where the inspector will talk to you over FaceTime, point out any concerns that he has, and also send his report digitally so that you can review that from home. The same logic applies for the final walkthrough. If you can't get here for a final walkthrough, I'm happy to go back and FaceTime that final walkthrough for you. I'll make sure that the property is in the same condition as it was when we wrote the offer and show you anything that's concerning and make sure that you can see through the FaceTime to make sure you're comfortable with closing on that property. The final step in this process is signing your closing documents, and that can be done from afar too. Now, that does have to be a wet signature, so the title company will have to mail the paper documents to you and coordinate a notary to come to you for those signatures, but it can be done and it's been done many times. So if you do need to sign out of state, that's totally possible. We usually just need an extra day or two to make sure we can overnight those documents from your state back to Phoenix. Once we close and we get the keys, I'm happy to mail those to you, and then it's done. You've bought a house virtually. If there's anything during this process where you're able to come see the house, you can always do that. But if not, I'm happy to be your boots on the ground and utilize technology so that you feel like you're here. If you have any questions in buying a house virtually or want to reach out to me with any questions about the Phoenix real estate market, feel free to give me a call, a text, or an email. Any way you'd like to reach out, I'm happy to help and, like I said, be your boots on the ground in your home search. If you want to check out some homes for sale in Phoenix, use the link I provided below to search my MLS. As always, I appreciate you watching, and be sure to give me a call if you have any questions. I'm Caitlin McKegg with Berkshire Hathaway.